and welcome to the Go Time podcast here on the Voice of College Football Network. I am your host, Grant Sashery, one of two Go-hosts here on the LSU channel of the Voice of College Football. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course click the bell for any for you to get notifications on whether or not we release a new video like this one, and also when we are about to go live. Huge weekend for LSU as they host multiple five-star prospects. They're going to host a few guys for the class of 2027 as well. And it's a huge list, and really this list could be even bigger. These are the ones that I know are coming to Baton Rouge to come to the Ponderosa. And the first one that has to be mentioned, of course, is Lamar Brown, the number one athlete in the country. Lamar Brown is considered to be the number one prospect in the state of Louisiana across the board, and also by ESPN, he is considered to be the top prospect in the country. Lamar Brown, currently right now, is favored to go to LSU. However, it's going to be a 50-50 thing, right? I mean, it really is. We already know that Miami has been trying to get after him for a while now. Well, not Miami. Texas A&M has been getting after him for a little while now. Texas A&M did a great job of hosting him when he went there last week, and he raved all about it in social media. So we know A&M is going to be on the prowl, and A&M is going to make a huge push to get Lamar Brown's services when he commits on July 10th. Lamar Brown is somebody that is getting recruited to play on both sides of the ball. But as of right now, from talking to different people, it looks like LSU is recruiting him to play on the defensive side of the ball. And because he's also great at playing on the defensive line as well. And that's probably what makes him the number one recruit in the country. If you can play on the offensive line very well and also play on the defensive line well, chances are you're going to be the number one prospect in the country, because there's not many prospects where you see them excel at both positions. I mean, he's a big kid, 6'3", 6'4". Some people have him 6.5, so 6'3", 6'4". Very athletic. He may not be. Let's say on the offensive line, he is not afraid to put somebody on their booty. He's very physical. Moves very fast for his size. Very quick. And also on the defensive line, he has some power, but to me all of his best moves are more finesse moves, and he uses finesse with strength. I've already seen him play a couple of times. I saw him play once as a sophomore, playing against Catholic High School, one of the top high schools in the state of Louisiana, if not the top high school. And he played really well on both sides of the ball, often going up against some of the better athletes, not only the state but the country. He's a mauler. He's not afraid to put you on your butt, but he's also very finesse. He's got great quickness, great feet, great hands. He can do it all on both sides of the ball. But LSU will have to make sure they can land him, because right now it's between LSU and A&M, and even Miami could play a part in his recruitment as well. We've already know Texas is going to make a late push too. And it's going to hurt if LSU loses this guy, not only because he's the number one prospect in your state, but he's also already on your campus. He goes to University Lab High School in Baton Rouge, often called U-High here in Louisiana, and it's literally on LSU's campus. Like, it's LSU's lab school. Like, it is literally on their campus. If Brian Kelly wanted to go talk to Lamar Brown at school, all he has to do is walk. Or he may not want to walk. He probably will take a golf cart there. But that's my point. It's walking distance. I mean, it really is. It's nothing. If you want to get a good exercise in, jog to U-High, talk to Lamar Brown for maybe 10 minutes, and then jog back to his office, he can literally do that. I mean, you could throw a rock at Lamar's school and you probably hit it from Brian Kelly's office. So there's that. But LSU is going to do whatever they can to land Lamar Brown, because we already know that he is a priority, not because he's on campus, he's in Baton Rouge, but because he's the number one prospect in the state of Louisiana, and you can't afford to lose another Baton Rouge kid like 5-star Blaine Bradford. Blaine Bradford is a 5-star safety, goes to Catholic High School in Baton Rouge, which is, like I said, one of the top programs, not only in the state of Louisiana, but the country. They've won 4 or 5 state championships since the year 2015. So in the last 10 years, they've won 5 state championships. And they've produced multiple guys that have gone on to play at LSU. Of course, Clyde Edwards-Laird, Darius Geis. The list goes on. And really what makes us hurt for LSU that he committed to Ohio State back in March was that, not because he's a hometown kid, but also his brother is already playing at LSU. His brother was 4-star recruit Jacob Bradford. And while Jacob may not be as highly decorated as Blaine, Jacob was one of the more underrated defensive backs in the country. That's why, if you looked at his rankings, he was always rising. And look, some people may say it's because of his brother, but I saw Jacob Bradford play. Like, he went up against Carr. I mean, he shut down Toronto. He shut down the Carr's receivers for most of the game, along with his brother. Like, Carr's receivers were absolutely suffocated. Carr had the top passing offense in the state. The Bradford brothers made life difficult for a Carr's passing attack, and that's why Catholic was so close to beating Carr in the semifinals. I mean, both. So, like, if LSU thought, okay, maybe if you get Jacob, we could possibly get Blaine too, because Blaine's the prize, right? I mean, of course, Jacob's a good player too. He is a Division I prospect, but they really wanted Blaine, but unfortunately committed to Ohio State. But it's not too late. You still have to early December to get him to flip, and this is where you start to do it. It has to start this weekend. Blaine has been in the LSU's radar since he was a freshman. He was literally started as a freshman at Catholic High School, which is, like I said, I mean, how many freshmen have started in the history of Catholic's program? There really hasn't been many. That just shows you how special he is. And he didn't really play much the sophomore year due to injury, but his freshman year, he was fantastic as a freshman, by the way. And then last year he played a full season, and he was able to make plays like this. He's great. He's a very physical safety. He could run down and make the play from far distances. Not afraid to, like I said, not afraid to make the hit. But he's also great in pass coverage as well. I mean, he really is a jack of all trades at the safety spot. I mean, look at this. That guy from too high should have caught that, but he was able to get his hand in there and break up that pass. I mean, great player. And of course, LSU's coaching staff knows this. They're going to do whatever they can to make sure that he wears a purple and gold jersey, not a scarlet and gray jersey, but it starts this weekend. The next guy we're going to talk about is 5-star wide receiver Tristan Keys from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. This guy has been committed to LSU since March 19th of this year. He's the number 5 player in the country, the number 1 receiver in the country, of course, the number 1 prospect in the state of Mississippi. Everybody but On3 has him as a 5-star in their individual rankings, but On3 has him as a top 10 prospect in the country. A fantastic player, 6'2", 6'3", 185 pounds. And although he is committed to play at LSU, he's gotten a little bit of pushback from his visit at Tennessee. So this is him right here getting the orange carpet treatment. And some people are saying this is kind of disrespectful because a lot of people feel like that he should honor his commitment to LSU, not visit other schools. But if you are going to visit other schools, don't do this. Although there's also the other side too, is that he's still making his official visits before he officially makes his final commitment. Again, when you're 17 years old, you have no idea what you're going to do for the rest of your life. But at the same time, there is the side of, if you're going to commit to a school, you need to honor that commitment, especially when you committed them in March and you're still taking commitments, right? We've already talked about before how Dylan Purder, the 4-star safety from the state of Alabama, he could easily be taking visits right now, kind of still deciding his final decision, but he has officially shut down his commitment. That's what he told me. And you know, and not take visits, to Alabama and Auburn, or his two in-state schools, but he's going to stay committed to LSU. But Tristan Keys, like I said, number one receiver in the country, and you're going to see why right here. I mean, like I said, 6'2", 6'3", and has the ability to make some big time plays. This is him right here running a fade route and making a one-handed acrobatic catch. I mean, that's ridiculous. Hattiesburg has been one of the top programs in the state of Mississippi. Playing a highly competitive league. That's him against Oak Grove High School in Mississippi. Has the ability to push the ball deep. Big-bodied receiver, like I said, 6'3", 263. And I mean, you're seeing everything right. Like, that is a short route that he's not afraid to run over people, right? He's also a very physical receiver. That should have been a 6 to 7 yard passing, catch and run, but he trucks over a dude and runs it 60 yards to the house. And he's also a great route runner too, as you saw on the last play. Let me show you this guys again. So show this to you guys because apparently I didn't show it. But here it is again. This is him making that acrobatic one-hand catch. Just a beast, right? I mean, he is a very physical receiver. A great route runner, can push the ball down the field due to his speed. And that's against Oak Grove, and Oak Grove is one of the better high schools in the state of Mississippi. And you're going to see right here, this is like a 5 to 6 yard reception. This should be a short gain, and then he trucks over the dude and runs it 6 yards to the house. You see why he's the top receiver in the country. You see why schools are doing whatever they can to flip Tristan Keys. He's just a great receiver, and if he does land at LSU, if he keeps his commitment to LSU, that's another big time receiver that LSU could have wearing the purple and gold. But once again, he outran the whole defense there. But once again, it'll be a huge deal if LSU is able to keep his commitment. The next guy I want to talk about is Ivank Finny. Ivank Finny is one of 11 guys committed to LSU right now. He is a 4-star cornerback out of Sierra Canyon High School in the Los Angeles area. One of the top high school athletic programs in the country. 6'2", 175 pounds. He is the 62nd prospect nationally, 6th best cornerback in the country, and of course the 8th best player in the state of California, which has hundreds of dudes in the state of California, because California's the most populous state in the union. So don't be fooled by the number 8 prospect in the state of California. If you're the top 10 prospect in the state of California, chances are you're really good at playing football. But Rivals has him as a 5-star. That's the highest ranking he has. The other sites have him in the top, have him as a 4-star. ESPN has him as a top 75 prospect. On3 has him in the top 100 prospect. 24/7 has him at number 125, but still very good. And of course, like I said, Rivals has him as the number 21 prospect nationally. Ivank Finny has been committed to LSU since April 28th. Actually, we did talk about him on our show recently. But although he is technically a class of 2027 guy, he's reclassifying for the class of 2026. And really, if he was, probably in the class, if he didn't reclassify, he could make a case to be a 5-star recruit pretty much across the board. But here he is returning punts. Of course, it says vision to speed. But right here he is returning punts. And you can see he's a little shifty vision and breakaway speed, as it says down here. And not only is he a great. Not only is he a great cornerback, but he also can return some punts there too. Here, his first 2 highlights are him returning punts, and so yeah, clearly you tell he can return punts. I mean, he wanted to make sure that it was known that he can return punts, and you can see there. I mean, just elite speed. I mean, that's something that stands out to you, and that's probably something that stood out to Corey Raymond when he first started recruiting him. Of course, he can also run routes too. I mean, look, he split 2 guys. He split the cornerback and the safety. Like that's elite speed. No, I don't care who it's against. I mean, that's elite, and that's something that definitely stood out to Corey Raymond. And of course he's great at reading reactive play. I mean, look at that. He read that from the get-go. I mean, and he made a great jump to intercept the ball. Really probably should have been pick 6 if he didn't trip over himself. But I mean, he can cover in one-on-one coverage. Although that ball may have been thrown to him, but still he came down with the interception. And this is against Modern Day, I believe. Yeah, it is against Modern Day. What a great play and one-on-one coverage, man-to-man. And yeah, and Modern Day, by the way, might be the greatest athletic program in our country's history. By the way, they've won everything at every single sport at the high school. I mean, the amount of Heisman Trophy winners have gone to that school is insane. So that lets you know the type of competition he plays. That's Paracera and Gardena. That's another great high school football program. I mean, he's playing against some elite competition, y'all. Like this ain't no joke. I know a lot of people say California's finesse and blah blah blah, but look, that's one of the toughest. He plays in one of the toughest leagues in the country. I mean, he plays against some high quality opponents. I mean, Sarah and Modern Day are no joke whatsoever. But yeah, that's Ivank Finny. Of course, he's coming to LSU. He will be visiting the Ponderosa this weekend. Another guy, and now we're kind of diving into a little bit of the 2027 guys, and that is, and first start with the 2 St. Aug receivers, Rayquon Williams and Miguel Woodley. We'll start with Rayquon Williams. Rayquon Williams, the class of 2027 guy. Both him and his teammate Miguel both had offers from LSU last week. He is right now hovering right outside the top 300. And Rivals Rivals ranks in the highest as a 4-star recruit, 64th nationally, 10th best receiver in the country, and 6th in the state of Louisiana. And by the way, his recruiting profile will continue to rise as he's gotten more and more offers as the days have gone on. Rayquon, once again, is 6 foot, 163 pounds, and St. Aug plays against some serious competition, y'all. They play in the Catholic League in New Orleans, one of the top high school leagues in the country, which is saying a lot because you gotta think about all of the different high school leagues across the country in Maryland and California and Texas. And the Catholic League is no joke whatsoever. You have to go against Carr. You have to go against Jesuit. You have to go against Rummel. You have to go against Brother Martin. The list goes on. It's a very, very tough high school league here in the state of Louisiana. And Rayquon Williams and Miguel Woodley give you a 1-2 punch at receiver. And St. Aug has a high octane passing offense because of those 2 guys. I mean, they have St. Aug has 2 elite guys on the outside with Rayquon Williams and Miguel Woodley. Miguel Woodley, on the other hand, he is he's also a 2027 guy. He like Miguel, very similar size, 6 foot 170. I think on his Twitter profile he has him at 180. So he's around that area, but he is considered to be a top 200 wide receiver in the country. On 3 race from the highest, it's 133rd nationally, 20th in the 20th best receiver in the country, and the 6th best prospect in the state of Louisiana. But if you look at his consensus rankings, top 200 prospect nationally, the 25th best receiver in the country, and the 11th best prospect in the state of Louisiana. That is Miguel Woodley, who makes up the 1-2 punch along with Rayquon Williams. And they both will be making a visit to LSU this weekend after picking up offers from LSU last weekend. Actually, I actually tweeted that out that they both got offers last Thursday. Actually, around the same time right now. Oh, actually, maybe a couple hours before I started recording this to that day. But once again, they both have great speed. They both have breakaway ability, and they both give defenses a hard time. But they're not the only ones from the Catholic League that will be visiting LSU this weekend. You also have, and that's the breakaway speed I'm talking about against Brother Martin. And ironically, why I'm speaking about Brother Martin is because Easton Royal is the third receiver from the Catholic League, the New Orleans Catholic League, to visit the Ponderosa. Easton Royal is considered to be the number 2 prospect in the country, according to On3. The highest ranking he has is by On3, who ranks him as the 14th best receiver, the 14th best prospect, the second best receiver in the country, and the third best player in the state of Louisiana. He is considered to be a top 5 prospect in the state of Louisiana. He is the second member of the Catholic League to be in the top 5, joining Zyron Forstall, the defensive end from Jesuit, who is often considered to be the number 1 prospect in the country. So a lot of big time athletes coming out of the Catholic League, and of course you're going to have more and more as 2027 recruiting style. It's going to keep growing. That's the thing too. Like, nothing's set in stone. Like, Easton Royal could be the number 1 receiver by the end of his recruitment, for all I care, because that's how much recruiting rankings change. But Easton Royal, kind of similar to Tristan Keys. Maybe not as big, but he's a great route runner and he has great speed. And he also is a punt returner. He's got great vision. Here is his sophomore highlights. But he had over 1,000 all-purpose yards and 14 touchdowns in 12 games his sophomore year. Breakaway speed, 5'11", 185 pounds, and really could take a game over. I've seen a lot of receivers play high school football here in the state of Louisiana the past 2 or 3 years, including Sheldon Sampson, some other guys, all the notable ones, but he can single-handedly take over the game, whether it's at receiver or as a punt returner. He is the most important player on Brother Martin's team. He has a huge impact on the game because of his speed, because of his playmaking ability, and also he is getting better and better as a leader. I mean that's ridiculous speed. He has awesome breakaway speed, and this actually is the game-winning touchdown in the final minute. So he can come up with big-time plays and big-time moments, and here he is running a double move for the game, for what ended up being the game. Well, actually no, this right here is the game-winning touchdown. He had 2 touchdown receptions in this game, and that was the game-winning touchdown in the final seconds to win over St. Paul's. But he's a great playmaker, and he makes it life difficult for opposing defenses. This is Carr right here. Carr is the best program in the city of New Orleans. I mean, it really is. And here he is making a double move against that Carr defense, which is really good. By the way, 0 is Aiden Hall, who is also committed to play at LSU. I mean, he had 2 touchdown receptions against Carr, by the way, which I don't know how many guys this last season had 2 touchdowns against that team. Shit. Yeah, anyway, here are his highlights. In 12 games, he had over 1,150 yards of all-purpose yards and 14 touchdowns. He has excellent breakaway speed. As you're going to see right here in one-on-one coverage, he beats the guy on the outside. They throw a deep ball to him, and he takes it to the house. And this was in the Jamboree game against John Ehret High School back in last August. He's just an awesome player. Not many. There's a lot of receivers that have playmaking abilities, of course. I mean, almost every receiver has playmaking abilities, but he's one of the few guys I have seen can take over a whole entire game. Teron Francis was another great example of that. Carr last season, who is now on LSU's roster for the season as a true freshman. But, he could take over a game, all right? Because the thing about Teron Francis, he also had two other D1 prospects on the other side of him, with Ollie Mitchell going to Tulane and Dejon Smith going to La Tech. But, this guy is the only Division I FBS prospect on his team currently, and everyone knows he's getting the ball. But there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, that right there was the game-winning touchdown against St. Paul's in the final seconds. I mean, he makes big-time plays in big-time moments. He's not afraid of the competition. He is a competitor through and through. The number two receiver prospect in the country. By the way, this is against St. Aug, by the way. And he had two touchdowns against, not St. Aug, this is Ken Carr, by the way. And he had two touchdowns against him, by the way. Number 0 is Aiden Hall, who's a 4-star prospect, committed to LSU, by the way. But yeah, he had two touchdowns against Carr. How many receivers this season have had two touchdown receptions against, last season had two touchdown receptions against Carr? There weren't many. He may have been the only one. That's the type of player he is. He's not afraid of the competition. He plays in the toughest high school league in the state of Louisiana. And like I said, he has awesome playmaking ability. Can extend the play deep on deep passing routes. Great at short yardage routes. Great at medium routes. Great at deep routes. He's just a great overall player and can really change the game. And by the way, look at that. Just an awesome player, and it'll be awesome to see him play once again, because you're seeing right now why he's the number 2 receiver in the country for the class of 2027. All these plays have been deep routes. Well, that was an 85-yard touchdown. The ball was at the ball was at the 19, so that is a 81-yard touchdown. By the way, there's that. The next guy we're gonna talk about is Boobie Feaster, who was formerly a part of the class of 2027 before he reclassified. The number 44 prospect nationally, he's the 5th best receiver in the country and the 5th best prospect of the state of Texas. He goes to DeSoto High School in DeSoto, Texas, one of the top programs in the state of Texas, and a school that has produced many players that have gone on to play in both the collegiate and professional ranks. Rivals has him as the top 15 prospect in the country, and really, if he stayed in the class of 27, he'd probably be a 5-star prospect. But the fact that he's a 4-star prospect and a top 50 prospect nationally, while we're classifying, shows you how great he is. Right now, LSU is the favorite to land him. His primary recruiter, of course, is Cortez Hankton. And I know LSU really wants him. Same thing with and LSU wants to add another 2026 receiver, of course. Yeah, they already added Tristan Keys. They already have Kenny Darby, but Kenny Darby will be making his finals. Even though he's committed to LSU, he will be visiting Alabama, and he's going to make his final decision sometime in July. So LSU wants to at least get 3-4 receivers in this cycle, and Boobie Feaster could be one of them. Boobie Feaster, a great player, 835 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 51 receptions, 835 yards, and 13 touchdowns. He's a playmaker. This is him as a sophomore, but he'll be reclassified, so he'll be a senior this year. Great playmaker. He's been a highly touted prospect since his freshman season. He started as a freshman at DeSoto High School, which shows you everything, because DeSoto is one of the top prospects in the country. Here's him with the breakaway speed. Uh, his name is Ethan, but he goes by Boobie. Of course, Boobie is a very famous nickname in the state of Texas, named after Boobie Miles, who's the famous running back for Permian High School. And he was featured heavily in Friday Night Lights. So, Texas high school legend, he's named after. But Boobie is a great player. Once again, 4-star wide receiver out of the state of Texas, DeSoto High School specifically. And DeSoto High School, they only produce dogs. So you already know he is a dog. He'll be visiting LSU tomorrow as well. Moving on, you also have Chauncey Kennan. Chauncey Kennan is a 4-star prospect out of the state of Florida because of Booker High School in Sarasota, Florida. 6'1", 6'2", 170 pounds. He is a top 50 prospect nationally on 3, 24/7, and ESPN all have him as a top 50 prospect. 24/7 gives the highest rating. He's 27th nationally, the second best cornerback in the country, and the 4th best out of the state of Florida. Right now, he is predicted to go to Florida State, and of course, he's Florida, and Miami are all in the hunt for Boobie Feaster. With Chauncey Kennan, along with LSU, to get his services. Corey Raymond has had a lot of success getting guys out of the state of Florida, and hopefully he could do the same thing with Chauncey Kennan. I mean, of course, that it happened again last season where DJ Pickett committed LSU out of the state of Florida, so maybe Corey Raymond can work some magic again. I mean, oh, he broke 2 people's ankles. But yeah, he's a pretty lengthy guy, 6'1", 6'2". What a great reaction to the ball right there. Great read, and I think he takes this to that. Yeah, he takes that to the house. But we saw Corey Raymond not only do that with DJ Pickett, who could be a star for LSU this year, but we also saw him do it with Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson is from the Miami area, and he was able to get Patrick Peterson out of the state of Florida, away from the clutches of Florida, when Florida was a national powerhouse, Florida State and Miami. And he was able to get him out of the state of Florida. So, could Corey Raymond do the same thing here? We'll see. But right now, it looks like at the moment he'll be playing for Squad Florida. As you can see right here, he has great athleticism. He broke 2 people's ankles on the way for a receiving touchdown, although he's being recruited as a cornerback. You're going to see that right here when he makes a great read on the ball and picks it off and returns it all the way to the house. Corey Raymond, of course, had a lot of success getting guys in the state of Florida. Of course, most notably DJ Pickett this past recruiting cycle. DJ Pickett could be a guy who could be starting for LSU this season, but if he's not starting, he'll definitely get a lot of playing time. And of course, we saw him do it with Patrick Peterson, who was the number 1 defensive back prospect in the country. And they took him out of the state of Florida when Florida was a national powerhouse, when they were doing the thing with Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow and all of them. And also, of course, Florida State and Miami. But right now, it looks like Chauncey Kennan will stay in the state of Florida, because right now it's favored to go to Florida State, but then also Florida and Miami are right there as well. But we'll see, because Corey Raymond has pulled magic in the state of Florida before, and maybe he could possibly do it again. The next guy I want to talk about, who will also be visiting LSU, is 4-star safety Aiden Pouncey. Aiden Pouncey is a 6'2", 6'3", I'll say 170-pound safety out of Winter Park, Florida. Winter Park High School out of Winter Park, Florida. Right now, he's committed to Notre Dame. He's been committed to Notre Dame since late April. 148th prospect nationally, 13th best safety, and the 18th best prospect out of the state of Florida, according to On3's industry ranking. On3 and 24/7 has the 2 highest rated rankings ranks on three has him 126 at their own individual ranking, while 24/7 has him as the 139th prospect in the nationally, in the 12th best prospect, safety prospect in nationally, and the 15th best player in the state of Florida. But he's a consensus 4-star prospect. Let's see here, he had 3 picks last year for Winter Park. He also, you can see right there, he also plays cornerback. He can return kicks. I mean, he's a big kid. I mean, 6'2", 6'3". I mean, that's a pretty big kid. And he's got playmaking ability, right? You see right here. I mean, he should have been tackled a long time ago, but he keeps running and running and running and running. I don't even know how he blew that. He's gonna got flag thrown right there because he blew a kiss. But that just shows you the kind of type of playmaker he is. He's cocky, right? But he can do it all. I mean, look, he's just returned 2 punts where I can't count how many times he broke tackles. But I mean, yeah, he's a great playmaker. By the way, he did this against a 5-star receiver. I don't know who that receiver is. But he went one-on-one coverage with a 5-star receiver. Don't know who the school was. Probably have to find that out pretty soon, huh? Probably do. But anyway, he's not only is a great defensive back, but he also can return kicks and return punts. So he's definitely multifaceted. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for today's Go Time. I'm your host, Grant Sachere. Thanks for watching the Go Time podcast here on the LSU at the Voice of College Football channel. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also make sure to click on the bell, as it will give you future notifications whenever we release a new video. We're going to be releasing a lot more recruiting content throughout the next couple months. SC Media Days is coming up, so we'll have a whole lot of content coming for you on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and go Tigers.